Hi, my darlings. I'm Sophie Darling, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Sophie. I have a doctorate in literature, which means I get overly emotionally invested in the stories that we are watching. So, if you're looking for a reactor that likes to talk a lot about symbolism and character development and themes, then you're definitely in the right place. We also have a lot of tiers that happen on this channel too. So, if that sounds like something you would enjoy, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a video. Today, we're reacting to episode 23 of season 2 of Vinland Saga, and I got absolute goosebumps last episode. It was just such a beautiful moment, this full circle reiteration of Thorfinn finally understanding the words that his father was saying to him, but also he'd been saying that there was something important that he needed to remember, but he couldn't remember it. And he finally remembered it in that moment when it was most important. And it also had such a profound impact on Olma. And we've already seen Olma undergoing this shift. He's turning away from violence and this idea that honor is the only thing that you should define your life by. So to hear those words from Thorfinn, it's definitely going to be something he carries forward with him for the rest of his life. I am so nervous to see this standoff between Einar, Thorfinn, and Canute. Canute doesn't seem to be listening to them. He is once again referring to the use of violence. He's saying, if you want to stop me from taking the farm, you'll have to kill me. But this isn't the way that Thorfinn is going. Words are more important to him. And I think there's going to be some very deep philosophical conversations going back and forth between all three of them as they're trying to get Canute to understand their perspective and to step down and leave the farm. But Canute has departed so drastically from who he used to be that it only becomes all the more obvious when he's next to Thorfinn just how different they are now. That what made Canute this worthy figure, this king that unifies and brings love and peace to people, is not what Canute has become in season 2. Then again, Asgard paved the way for Canute to become this hardened figure through Ragnar's death. That Ragnar's death hardens Canute in a way that we only see the impact of it as he grows up, as he bears the weight and the pressure of the crown. He doesn't really have people around him that care about him in the same way that Ragnar did, that would have kept him grounded. And I think that's sort of the true tragedy, is that like no one could understand the catalyst of events that would occur from the loss of Ragnar and the loss of that love. And in his mind, he wants to bring love to the people, but he's only bringing suffering. And I think Ragnar would have told him as much, but I think if Ragnar was still alive, Canute never would have become this person. Canute would have been happy to have remained King of England and to continue ruling over the people there rather than setting his sights elsewhere. He would have been happy to have lived a more simple life than this desire of utopia and to bring love and to build a paradise and to rebel against God, because in his mind, he seems to believe that somehow he's going to achieve paradise, but in building this paradise, he's causing so much pain and suffering in the process. He's never going to be able to build paradise when he's making enemies. That's the issue that's occurring here. It's almost contradictory. But without further ado, we're going to jump into episode 23.
そなたに世を止めることができるか。
Oh. The fact that the episode is called Two Paths, because they've gone down two different paths in life.
アシェラットのように。
帰ってくれトロフィー。お前は変なやつだが、殺すには惜しい。
You're a strange man. Interesting. It's a strange man because it's not like anything they've ever dealt with before.
最後は力の強いやつの理屈が押し通るんだ。
That's not fair. It's not the world they want to live in. They want a better world. They want to be the change in this world.
未だ王になりきれぬか。なぜあのような下船の者どもにそなたの心情を明かしたのだ。よもや
Thorfinn is the light, Canute is the dark. Thorfinn is symbolizing a different path ahead.
羊飼いの仕事がどうして羊に理解できようか。
That's not how it always used to be. He never thought of himself above others.
羊のためなのだ。
It's not what's best for the sheep. Pull him out of the darkness. Do it. Be the
お前が
light.
権力に任せて無茶を通すつもりなら
He's counteracting
あ
Sven.
の男は危険だ。一頭の羊が群れを惑わし、断崖へ
Come
走
on.
らせることを
Prove that
守
words
った
have power. That you can pull Canute back onto the right path. Two paths could be referenced to Canute and the two directions that he could go in. Head towards the light. Find new purpose, new meaning.
逃げる
Or become your father. And be lost in the darkness of it all. And the dichotomy, light shining on one side of his face, darkness shining on the other.
逃げるだけか
He will.
ここでお前と差し違えろってのかよ。お前の言う楽土ってのは多くの人を助けて少しの人を虐げる。俺にはそれがいいことか悪いことかわからないし、お前の無茶を責める資格もない。
Don't have the right to criticize your crazy ideas. He does say they're crazy though.
この帝王の前へただ還元をしに来たのか。そんな顔になってまで。
It wasn't to admonish you, it was to try and save lives. It was to bring peace to this farm.
さよなら、王陛下。
Canute, if this isn't a wake-up call, I don't know what is. You still have the chance to move away from the path that you're on. To find a new direction. To be the man that you were meant to be, not a replication of your father. I'm sorry, but this is the first time we've actually seen joy on his face this season.
世と駆け引きをしたがる者は多い。罠にはめようとする者も。なんだそなたは。大バカ者め。寸鉄も帯びず、散々殴られ、農場接種をやめろと言いに来ただけか。
He's got balls. It's the fact this is the first time we've really seen him laugh and look light-hearted in this entire season. Is crazy, and it's Thorfinn that brings that out in him. It's so similar to season 1, where like Canute is so shy and reserved and doesn't talk because he's scared of the weight of his words, so he withdraws, and Thorfinn's the one that brings him out of his shell. His provocations is what gives him confidence to speak up and stand up for himself. And then in this scenario, we're seeing a lighter Canute, someone that's actually smiling and willing to laugh. This entire season, we haven't seen him jovial at all. We haven't seen him lighthearted. We haven't seen him smiling. We haven't seen him laughing. We haven't seen him actually finding something funny. He's just been so stoic and hell-bent on this one direction, this one path that he's charging down, that he will destroy anyone that gets in the way, regardless of who suffers in the process. He's so consumed by it that he doesn't realize that in the process he is becoming his father. He's not actually being the man that he wants to be, that everyone believed him to be in season 1. But it's just such a like stark comparison that we're seeing Thorfinn again bring out this side of Canute that everyone's shocked to see because they're not used to it. And I just love that it's Thorfinn that in both seasons can get through to him. And it's the power of that connection between the two of them, that beauty that Thorfinn's able to break down the barriers that Canute puts up time and time again because he's so blunt and non-deceptive. He's not there with an ulterior motive. Thorfinn is just Thorfinn. And Canute isn't used to people like that. So whenever he does speak with Thorfinn, it breaks down the guard that he has up because there's just no deception, there's no trick. Thorfinn is Thorfinn. What you see is what you get with him, and Canute, I think, admires that to some degree. And I love that we're seeing again the use of light and darkness. We have Thorfinn as the light, the symbol of another direction, another path forward to prevent further suffering and violence. And then we have Canute in the darkness with his father's decapitated head whispering that the sheep don't understand the work of the shepherd. You should skin them because the only way forward is to step on them, to show your power is to be above them because they are your subjects. They're there to be rules. You're there to guide them. That's your job. They shouldn't be lecturing you because they don't understand what it means to be the one with the power. You should weaponize that power to put them in their place because that's what they are. They're sheep. He's not understanding that just as quick as you gain power, you can also lose power. And that's what happened to Sven. He lost his power, aka his control of England, as quickly as he gained it because he looked at people as pawns, as things to be stood on in order to get ahead, not as people. And he treated his own son as something that was disposable, as something that was worth getting rid of, if only to prevent further issues in terms of inheritance, but also the threat that Canute might have towards his throne in England. So I hope that this is indicating that Canute is at least taking Thorfinn seriously, that there is still a chance for redemption for Canute, that he can move away from this. And again, it's just so funny that like Thorfinn's saying to him, like, I don't have the right to say whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, but it still says that it's like a crazy idea. I think Canute has great ideas and a grand ambition to try and minimize the suffering in this world, but how he's going about it is not the right way. It's not the direction he needs to be following. And I think that's what Thorfinn understands, that whilst it may seem crazy, the ultimate goal is to help people, is to minimize suffering. He doesn't want slavery. He doesn't want pillaging. He doesn't want unnecessary violence. He wants people to have a utopia, but how he's going about building that isn't actually building a utopia, it's just cementing violence. And whilst we are seeing positive aspects of Canute in terms of he did stand by banning slavery, he's refused the Vikings to raid and pillage and take the homes for themselves, he can still create all of that, still build that, but there is a different way to go about it. And I'm hoping that's what he comes to realize, that whilst his ambitions are good and what he wants to bring to this world is a positive, how he's doing it is the negative. That there is another way around it, that he can go down a different path, and that he's now at the foot of two paths, and it's which direction he's going to choose that's going to make him the man that he wants to be, that will define his legacy. And I think that's why we're seeing the dichotomy between the darkness and the light. Thorfinn is the light, his father is the dark. Which path is he going to go on?
バイキングの中からこのような男が生まれうるのか。
His face is so
美しい
soft.
男だ。
Oh, there is hope.
争いを離れ、どこへ逃げる。
お前に教えることはできない。
Because you'll follow and bring war there. That's
我が
probably
半島は
why.
広がり続けている。やがてそこにも世の力が及ぶかもしれぬぞ。
He hopes not.
逃げられるだけ逃げてやるさ。逃げる先があるうちは、俺は戦わない。
There's always
王の
another
力
way,
が
another
届かない場
path.
所にお前とは違うやり方で平和な国を作るよ。お前の作る世界では生きていけない人たちのために。お
Oh,
前と俺自身のためにも。
oh,
世の事業の埋められぬ穴を
it's
そ
so
なたが埋める
beautiful.
というのか。
Yeah.
できるのか、そなたに。
He doesn't know unless he
俺の
tries.
力は お前よりずっと小さいんだ。あんまりでかい穴は手に負えねえ。お前がこの調子で人々を迫害し続けるなら、そのうち誰にもお前を助けることはできなくなる。お前も努力しろ。俺の仕事を増やすな。
You need to be better.
まったく口が回るようになったものだ。誰に似たのであろうな。
His dad.
面白い。これほど難しい和平交渉は初めてだ。
It's so nice to see Canute actually smiling and light-hearted for once.
なんだこりゃ。船もね
He
え。どこ行っ
left.
たクヌート。ふざけんなよ。
Canute left. Thorfinn got through to him
農場から手を引く理由がわからぬと。
because he's choosing a different path.
そなたも不満か、ウルフ。
いいえ。
No.
他の農場を接収する計画も白紙に戻す。
Oh.
トルフィンの仕事を増やしては悪いのでな。
There's a chance for Canute.
世は今まで共に戦う者はそなたぐらいしかおらぬと思っていた。だが今日新たな仲間を得た。
He looks so at peace in a way he hasn't been for so long.
その後、クヌートはイングランド財政を圧迫していた中英デンマーク軍に解散を命じる。
Oh, Thorfinn really got through to him. Oh, I'm gonna cry.
だが、危惧されたイングランドでの反乱は起こらなかった。クヌートが軍事力を手放すことで、イングランドの諸侯はクヌートの信頼を知り、
Instead of causing
征服者と
tension,
非征服者の
it built their
関係が
relationship together.
変化しようとしていた。
It showed his respect to the people. But this couldn't have been achieved without Thorfinn.
良い気分だ。
I'm so glad. Ooh. Oh, what a man Thorfinn is. I'm sure he does feel good. He feels lighter than he has in years.
生きてさえいれば。
And you're alive, I know.
なぜ生きなければならないの。
So keep going. Keep pushing. You have to live for more. You have so much good to offer the world. Look at what you both achieved.
もういいのか。
ああ。まだ少しふらつく。
Dawning on a new day.
大丈夫だ。
A new journey, a new adventure.
たく。行くのか。トロフィン。海の向こうの地へ。
Eventually. He has to go home
フィン
first.
ランドだ。
フィンランド。
あの時、アルネイズさんが息を引き取る時、すぐに答えられなかった。
Now he knows.
地獄を生き、死に安らぎを求める魂に、どんな言葉をかけられるって言うんだ。生きろと言える世界が欲しい。
So they have to
死ぬ
build
以
it.
外救いを持たない人たちに胸を張って語れる。
So there is something
死の魅力を超
tangible
えた
to have faith in.
そんな地を
Oh, wow.
俺たちの生きる世界に、それだけを、それだけをみんな求めていたのに。
Ah,
どこにもないなら
They'll build it themselves.
ないなら作る。エイナル。兄弟、
Oh,
一緒に行こう。
brother.
フィンランドに
Not friend.
平和の国を
Brother.
作るんだ。
Because
アル
that's
ネイス
what
さん
they
に
are.
胸を張って語れるような。
やろう、兄弟。
Oh,
海の向こうに奴隷も戦争もない国を作ろう。アルネイズのために。
on hide. But for all those that can't live in the world that Canute is creating. Oh, they're finally going. Oh, Peter! He's alive! Oh.
アルネイズの墓は任せなさい。私が守る。
Oh.
本当にありがとう。
Oh, Alma, I'm so proud of you.
トルフィン。俺
Oh.
あなたのようになりたい。あなたのような強くて優しい本物の男に。
That's all he's ever wanted to hear.
オルモルさん、あなたは
You're already a real man.
聞きました。素晴らしいことです。俺は15年もかかってしまった。やっと自分が何をすべきか分かったんです。ここは素晴らしい農場です。立て直して守っていってください。ありがとうございました。いつも力になってくださって。
Oh, the music is stunning.
言ったはずじゃ。ただの契約だと。
It wasn't.
礼を言われる筋合いはない。
You always saw them as people. You always admired and respected them.
銀1マルクでも
And they refused the money as well. They didn't want it.
トロフィー、エイナル。俺の名はロワルド。グリムの子、ロワルドだ。
We finally know his name.
ありがとう、ロワルドさん。
皆さんお元気で。
Oh, they planted the flowers so they'll grow and thrive. Ugh. Oh, look at Olmo. I'm so proud of him. And she's there by his side as they work the fields together. This is going to be Garner's words, isn't it? But reiterated. Not as violence, not as warriors, but as creating and sustaining life rather than taking and destroying it. Poor girl, you could have found peace, but no. Instead of carving it into bodies and blood and vengeance, they're carving it into creating and sustaining the land. They're becoming different men. Men that Sverker will be proud of.
無数の苦痛もこの世の断りだと。
But now he can find joy.
あのような者たちを目にできるとはな。彼らは向かったよ。私たちが想像もしなかった世界へ。ここではない。どこかへ。
carve that encounter into me. This show is basically carving this into me. Oh, what a beautiful episode. And the fact that Canute began to go down a different path, decided to actually be a better man. And we don't see the reiteration of his father's head. He's finally cast that away from him, which is symbolically showing that he's chosen to be better, that he's listened to Thorfinn. Thorfinn saying to him, I understand what you're trying to do, and I can't fathom whether it's good or bad because I'm not the one wearing the crown. He understands that there is significant responsibilities that are tied to him being a king and the pressure that comes with it, and also the need to protect and defend that which is your people and your country. But at the same time, he's saying to him, "Don't make any more work for me. Don't make my work any harder. I don't have the strength and the power that you have, but I am still striving to create a world in which there is no war, no violence, no slavery, for people that can't live in your world to have somewhere else to go, so that there is another option for them. But if you make it impossible for me to actually build this well because you're causing so much pain and distress and suffering, then I'm not going to be able to do that." He understands that there is a power imbalance, but at the same time, they're both striving for something better. They want to create a better society, a better world, but how Canute's been going about it up until now hasn't been right. But we are seeing that change. We're seeing him relinquish the forces. This idea that there's going to be a rebellion that's probably fed from anxiety and possibly from him believing that his father's right, that the English are working against them. And it never happens. They understood the trust that he was placing in them, and they're able to forge a stronger relationship. It wasn't a conqueror anymore. It was a king ruling his subjects. It was a king actually taking his place amongst his people rather than seeing them as the enemy. It's no longer about discontentment, but about acceptance and moving forward together as one country, as one people, rather than the Danish versus the English. They are united in that moment. And his choice to leave the farm and to abandon his pursuit of all other farms is again him choosing a different path. He knows that the path that he's gone on was misguided. He still wants to achieve this goal, but he knows there's another way of doing it, that he can marvel what Thorfinn is attempting to create and try and do the same. Of course, unfortunately, there are going to be those that can't live in Canute's world because it's not perfect. It's not a utopia, no matter how much he tries to make it one. And that's where Thorfinn comes in. Thorfinn essentially is not immune to the fact that there will be people that try to go to war with Canute, that they will vie for what Canute has, and Canute will have to have a war in order to defend his subjects and his people. And that's why Thorfinn is essentially saying, I'm going to build a world in which people that cannot live in your world can live in mine, where there is no war, there is no violence, because though they don't have the same level of power, Canute is still going to build a better society. Unlike Canute, he can run. He's not bound by anything. He can run as far as he needs to go to evade war, to evade violence. Canute can't because he is burdened by the crown. And that is the difference between them, that Thorfinn is able to recognize that burden, but still admire what Canute is attempting to do. And Canute's acceptance of Thorfinn's words that Thorfinn wants to build this better society motivates him to also want to build it too, that they're on two different paths, but the same goal is there. The same desire and dreams are shared. And I think the two paths is symbolic of multiple different things. I think the two paths are Thorfinn and Canute, but also Canute being made to choose between which direction, which path he wants to go down. Does he want to be his father, or does he want to be like his old self, like Thorfinn? Does he want to actually adhere to his beliefs, this idea of building paradise and bringing love to the people, or does he want to continue causing distress and untold suffering? And he's showing that he doesn't want to do that anymore. He says that he feels good because he feels lighter, that burden, that weight that's been pushing down on him has finally been lifted. He feels like he can finally breathe and find the direction that he's lost so long ago. He's back following the right path again. He's been steered in the right direction. And he looks much happier, much more at ease, much more of his old self, which we haven't seen at all up until now. And I think that's what got me so emotional is like Thorfinn's able to get through to him in that regard. And we're seeing Olma admire Thorfinn wanting to be him. We're seeing Snake, or not Snake, Riald, admitting his name and his ties to his father. So he's no longer going by Snake. Kettle is crying, but fuck Kettle. The fact that he's still alive really annoys me. He shouldn't be alive. And it's just sad that Arnheid never got to know peace. She never got to know this freedom. She does in death, but not in life. And the fact that both boys are driven by this mission to be able to give other people a purpose to live for, to give them another opportunity, because they couldn't tell Arnheid why she needed to live. They didn't have an answer for her, but they do now. Answer is this world that they're going to build together as one, where there's no slavery, there's no war, there's no violence. They can give hope to disadvantaged people, to those who have given up on the hope of there being a better life. They can actually bring it into being. Instead of it being this idealistic goal, is going to be a reality. And Arnheid has motivated them to do that. And I think the next episode is going to break me, because I think they're actually going to go home and we're going to see Thorfinn reunited with his mum. And I'm going to lose it, because that's all I've wanted, is for Finn to go home and finally see his mom again. His poor mom, so many years without her son, and she's not even going to really recognize him. But I imagine the first thing that's going to strike her when she sees him is how like Thor's he is. And that is going to break me if she mentions that he's like Thor's, because, yeah, just I'm so proud of Thorfinn and everything he's achieved and how far he's come, and this journey him and Einar are going on, that they are brothers, they're not just friends anymore, they're family, and this desire to build this better world, to make it a reality, to make it something that is tangible, so that they can give those who are disadvantaged and suffering in life a better chance, a better opportunity. Even Peter's like, I've never met men like them, I've always endured, but they're actually creating something, they're striving to be better, and Olma is also doing the same. The farm looks a lot lighter, they're rebuilding, they're establishing something better than it once was, and Olma has taken charge and he's with the girl, which means their relationship has continued. So hopefully Olma does get that happy ending with her. He seems a lot more confident and assured in himself, and I love that when he says to Thorfinn that he wants to be a real man like Thorfinn. Thorfinn compliments him in turn by saying, the fact that you were able to forego violence and turn away from it is something to be marveled, is amazing, because it took me 15 years, but you were able to do that far sooner than I was. So it's a recognition that Olma already is a man. He has already achieved that in everything that he's done. But the fact that he now has Thorfinn as his guidance, as the model of how he wants to live his life, and he looks so much happier for it, is amazing. And the Thorgil just looks completely desolate and unhappy. And, you know, that's what happens when you decide that violence and honor is the only thing achievable in life. You end up miserable, with only suffering ahead, because violence begets more violence and death begets more death. Whereas we're seeing Olma actually come into his own, and Kettle can be sad for all I care, because I hate Kettle. And the fact that he's still alive is really annoying, but it is what it is. I just absolutely adore this series. I'm so glad that Canute finally is finding his redemption, and that Wolf is proud of him, and he is much lighter and happier, and Thorfinn and Einar are finally striking it out to make their dream a reality, to create Vinland. And the last episode of this season's gonna kill me. I know it. I know it. I'm already running out of tissues. I brought like a wad of tissues with me, and I'm already running out, because both episodes made me tear up massively. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this react, please consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment below to help boost this video into the algorithm. And until next episode, bye!